Hello everyone, welcome back on ChaharTeck. This is my channel. You can go to YouTube and subscribe it if you want to know more about technical stuff. Today we'll learn about one of the services provided by AWS, that is EC2. EC2 is just Elastic Compute Cloud. And before we move to EC2, we'll have a brief about AWS, what actually AWS does. So AWS is the web services provided by Amazon, and it is nothing but a cloud concept. They provides you the on-demand, dedicated, reserved sort of cloud computing, and on there you can do your personal stuff, your company stuff, your government things. So you can use this cloud computing. Basically, they are known for this pay-as-you-go model. So whatever you use, you have to pay for, and that is very cost effective model by AWS they have provided, because based upon the criteria you want to implement, they will charge you on the basis of the consumption, because they provision the facility where you can pay on a seconds, hour, day, year basis. So that is very cost effective model they have provided. So let's move to EC2 actually. So EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. It is just one of the virtual server on AWS where you can provision most of your stuff. They will provide you a Elastic Compute Cloud instance. You can go and with this some clicks you can just move to create one instance for you, and on that you can run many services, your database, your cloud watch, whatever you want to run, you can run on your one of these virtual server. So basically, the key benefits of having a EC2, having a instance is: first, resizable compute capacity, time saving, cost effective, scalability, and developer friendly. When we say resizable compute capacity, that means whatever you want, whatever your requirement is, you can just buy this components as per your need. Time saving, when you say time saving, it means if you have to launch one new instance or a virtual server, within fraction of seconds you can get one. How time saving is, if you compare to traditional warehouse machines, you have to place an order for the machine, then you have to get it to the data center, install it, and run the server. So it's very time consuming process. But with AC2, with AWS, you can just run your virtual servers within fraction of seconds. When you say cost effective, it means when you provision your own data center, own server in the data center, it is very costly. But when you run it on AWS, on a cloud computing, it saves you a lot of cost, because you are paying here only basis of your uses. Scalability, when you say, let's say I have a system with 1 terabyte capacity, and for some, and I'm working in some telecom firm, and where generally promotion periods comes on. So in that case, in the particular campaign period, you can save a lot of efforts by just using the scalability functionality provided by EC2 or AWS. And how it works is, you have a system with capacity 1 terabyte. For a campaign, you need an additional terabyte. You don't need to provision additional hardware commodity for this. So you can just hit on a click and make your system scalable depending upon the resources, whether it is CPU usage, whether it is concurrent session usage, it will scale up or scale down your system accordingly without compromising your performance. And developer friendly is the instance will give you functionality to build your own things over there. And when you say EC2 pricing options, this is the one of the best thing, or the thing that you have to focus upon. What type of instance you want to launch, because they have multiple type of instances: on demand, reserved, spot instances, dedicated hosts. So there will be no upfront cost if you go for on demand. There is a low cost and flexibility. Reserved is it will be a contractual basis. You have to pay upfront, but you can save a lot of cost when you go for a number of years of contracts. So generally, if you are interested for more than 3 years contract, you can save at to 75% of cost. Spot instances are flexible start and end time, low cost. That means, let's say if your company is getting a new project and you want to run a POC, so spot instance is one of the instance you can opt for. And the dedicated host with the spot instances, you can save up to 70% cost compared to on demand. So dedicated host is reservation based. You have to reserve it for your host. So many things are there. You will go to learn when you go brief on more on that. So today's class we will learn about setting up the labs, setting up the SSH clients, launching your first EC2 instance. Excited? Yeah. So basic requirement, you will be having a AWS account. Depending upon the usage, depending upon your interest, you can get a paid one or free tier. And you have to get a SSH client for that. You can, if you are good at putty or movex, whatever suits you the best, you can go for it. I'll show you about free tier. So AWS free tier account. Why AWS free tier? Because if you are a learner, you can go for a 12 months free trial, and it will be always free. And with this you get 70 to 50 hours of EC2, 5 gigs of S3, 750 hours of RDS, 30 days of guard duty. Like, many functionalities will be there. So you can just go to this link, AWS free tier, and create your free account for almost a year. Depending upon the users, you will be charged, but if you are within limits, you will be not be charged for 1 year. So you have to create your account. Because I already have, so I'll just go and show you how it works. So today we'll go with EC2 creation of your first instance. Because I already have one account, so I'll just log into that. In your case, you have to create one account for you. I already have enabled multi-factor authentication for it, and I'll tell you in next class how to get a multi-factor authentication for setup for your accounts. Also, I'll tell you to create a IAM user for this, because your free trial account or a main account will be considered as a root account. But you will be when you are working in a firm. So mainly IAM account, identity and access management account suits you the best, because with root you can't restrict the uh, privileges, but IAM you can restrict the privileges. So today we will go to create your first instance. So you have to go to services, you have to write EC2, or you can see just EC2. It's a virtual server in the cloud. To go to EC2, and I'll tell you how and what exactly is the meaning of every term you will go. So you have to go to instances. So Do not have any running instance in this region? Because I have chose Oregon, US West 2, and in this region I have not launched any instance yet. In further classes, I'll tell you about the reasons, availability zones, what are the reasons, what are the reasons. We have previously covered also. If you are new to this class, you can just know for now how to launch instance, and thereon we can just do that. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and create my first instance for you. I'll tell you how, because I'm considering here that you are a learner or a practitioner, so you will be only just using it for a free tier account. So I'll generally, based upon your requirements, you can choose any. I'll go with Amazon Linux AMI SSD volume. This why? Because this comes with a, pre-installed soft services: Python, Ruby, Perl, Java, PostgreSQL. It includes many pre-installed services. Whether in the first one, you have to install it for you. So I'll selected this for you. Okay, so here it comes the main thing. Free tier is T2 Micro, and it comes with a one virtual CPU and 1 gig of memory, and instance will be EBS Elastic Block Store. And so I'll choose for now is T2 Micro, and that is a free tier. However, there are many types of instances you can launch for you, and many families are there. Many family, when I say, is some instances will be computer specific, some instances will be storage specific. So depending upon the requirement, depending upon the need, depending upon the size of the data, you can choose your instance. I'll choose T2 Micro because this is a free tier and I am considering you all as a practitioner. So, okay, I'll go one. So, number of instances, how many instances I want to launch. So, this will be one. For now, I'll be just uh, launching a one instance only. We will learn in next classes what is auto scaling. For now, I'll just tell you that auto scaling is scalability that we uh, saw in our first slide. So basically, when depending upon the need of this data or the uses or the campaigns, if we want to increase the number of instances parallelly or horizontally, we can have this auto scaling in our. When you this is purchasing option. Second is for request response instances. In the second slide, yeah, we saw this is spot instances for EC2. So basically, this is a paid feature, so we'll not opt for this for now. And network, you will be getting a default if you are good at VPC creation in your first class. If you already know what is VPC, you can just create a new VPC for you depending upon your virtual private cloud networks, and you can create your subnets. Here I'll be choosing default in any AZ. However, four AZs will be available in Oregon region. This is US West 2 DCBA. So I'll just choose it default. Many things are there. Okay. Here comes IAM role. I don't have any IAM role yet. So we will create IAM roles in next class. For now, I'll just tell you how it to launch your first ECT. So shutdown behavior will be stop or terminate. What it means is when I am launching my instance for one go, and there is only single time uses, I can choose to terminate, because in that case, when you shut down your instance, you really don't have to take care of how termination. It will just terminate your instance and wipe out every data and wipe out the instance for you. But when you stop, you can you can just start it again. Okay, this is enable termination protection. I'll tell you in next go how it works. Sometimes what we do is, when we are a practitioner, what we just try to use each and every functionality, and by mistake we just delete our instance and everything goes off. So you can just have this functionality available, and that you can disable enable anytime in your EC2 instance. So I'll just not use it for now. Okay. And monitoring TNC and everything is there. I will go to advanced details and user data. So this is the thing for the developers or the programmers, or who knows EC2 very well. So sometimes what we need is, let's say we need our Apache web server installed on your machine. So there are two options. When you launch an instance, go to server, install it. Okay. The first one is, you while launching your instance, you can just write your scripts here, write your code here, and with the instance launch, it will automatically take care of your installation of your Apache web server. We'll go to next, add storage. Okay, so here is volume root. Dev xvdv is a device, and this is snapshot ID. Size will be 8. If you want to increase it, you can increase it up to 30 gigs, because it's a free tier. More the size you can opt for, but it won't be a free tier then. Okay. And if you want to add a new volume, you can go and add a new volume. Okay. Just simple, it clicks add tags. Okay, in next our classes we will tell you about the tags, how they are beneficial. Actually, tagging, if you are good at tagging, you can be a master of AWS in terms of financials. For now, I'll just tell you, this is a key. I'll choose at PC Labs, and this is value. I'll key at budget. So let's say if some requirement comes, whoa, and I need to defer it department wise, that okay, particular HR department, how much costing it is using, for instance, particular finance department, how much they are using it, testing department. So if I am good at tags, I can tag particular instances with the department names, and easy to find out which instance is consuming more. If there is no users on an instance, if some department is not using, you can just terminate it and save your cost. Next, we'll configure the security groups. For now, security groups we will be getting it the next class. But for now, I'll tell you, security group is some sort of restrictions if you want to enable. Let's say if I don't want if I want to disable HTTP or HTTPS from particular source, I can disable it. So I'll just make my own security group, PCLab SG. Okay, and my create my own security group. If you have already one security group existing your machine in your server, you can just use that. I'll create new one for you. Now it is so that's how I can review my instance launch, whatever options I have choose. I can see there. Now I go to launch. So basically, I if you remember last page, we just saw that see one security group, and when we need to create, when we need to SSH connect through SSH, we have to use a key pair value. So if I have choose have existing key pair, I can choose that. If I am not having, I can create a new. If I don't want to use one, I can proceed without a key pair. So I'll create one for you. I'll name PC Labs key. Okay, and I download this key pair and I launch it. So with this, your instance will be launched. Okay, You can see your instance here. These are the configurations. IPv4, this will be the IP that you will connect to. This is the AZ, this is the private IP, this will be the DNS, security groups we created, PC Labs, SG, subnets, and everything is there. A key pair is PC Labs key. Okay, so now I can see my instance is running and initialization is still going on. Okay, so let's go to our slide. So we had already AWS free tier. We need putty, Movexterm, putty keys in, and there will be the update we will be running. Okay, so let's go to, if you are good at Movexterm, I'll tell you first Movexterm. Okay, so I'm here. First, I'll need to uh, get my key. Okay, and move it to desktop. In Movexterm, I need to go to my desktop. Now I'm at my desktop. I will do SSH F1I key name, and when you launch a EC2 instance, the default user is EC2 user. Okay, and now I need to connect to this server. I'll go to instance and use this public IP because I need to connect it to this. So time it will take some time. So now we are at a our EC2 server. Okay. Second way I'll tell you, this is how do you connect to your EC2 instance for the first time. Second way is I have to have this putty key generator. If you are good at putty, I'll tell you how. You load this PEM file. We created PC Labs key PEM. We open it here. Now we want to save this private key. It will create a ppk file for us. Okay. Now when I have this, I'll go to putty and I have to choose the same IP we chose to connect to Movexterm. We have EC2 user, add this IP. So it will not connect here because we have to use the SSH authentication. For authentication, we have to use this key. We done this session and we load it. Without key, it will not launch because we have put the key. It will connect to EC2 user and go to this server. Okay. Now I move to root user because I need to run this commands. Okay. I'll tell you why these commands are needed. This command is needed to resource any AWS, update any AWS resources. Okay, and so basically that's how you can connect, and this is it. Now you can connect your EC2 and you can launch your own account. Give me a feedback how it was, and because your first EC2 instance is run up and running, and you have both the options to connect. I can tell you one more bonus thing that if you have your you can install your Apache server on this. Okay, with this Apache server will be installed, and now when you have Apache server, you go to where www.html. If you see there is nothing, let's cut touch index.html. Okay, I'll just tell you the basics why I'm doing it when I'm writing it. So what I have this EC2 instance, I and if I am using it for my web services, if I want to run a website on top of this EC2 server, if my website is running on that, how it will look, I'll tell you. If you're good at HTML, you can make the best out of it. I know a bit of it. Okay, here I'll close it. I will not take much time. Yeah. Okay, I'll see if how it looks like. Okay, so I have run it. I'll go to my EC2 instance, copy this address, and run it. Let's see how it goes. In next lectures, we'll learn more about the load balancer, how when you run a website, how a load balancer works. Okay.